Okay guys, so we just did our lesson over balancing chemical equations, and so we're going to get into predicting products, okay, of a chemical reaction. Now, I've tried to break it down to where you have plenty of examples for each type of reaction. It's pretty simple, you just have to follow the form. Okay, so the first type of reaction we're going to talk about is what we call composition reactions or synthesis reactions. So it's when you take two or more elements and you mix them together and they form a compound. Okay, so the general form for a synthesis reaction is A plus X gives you AX. These are questions that will be on your test. Okay, so the first type of example is a metal plus oxygen gives you a metallic oxide. Okay, so we know that all metals are located to the left of the zigzag line. Non-metals are located to the right of the zigzag line. So make sure you know that. Okay, so the first example, and we got to make sure we write balanced equations for all of those. So that's kind of why I put some blanks there out to the side. But I'm just going to work everything out to the side so you can see it. So magnesium plus oxygen. Okay, now a metal plus oxygen always gives you a metallic oxide. So the metal in this case is going to be Mg, and oxygen is just always O2. And what we're going to do is when we put them together, they're going to form an ionic compound. So magnesium always has a charge of +2. Oxygen has a charge of -2. So there's no need to crisscross because they have equal and opposite charges. Okay, so you can't forget that step. Now, when we go through to balance, you have two oxygens on this side. I need to get two oxygens on this side. 2 Mgs on this side. I'm going to put 2 Mgs on this side, and then it's balanced. Okay. Now, the next type of example deals with words. Okay, so it's the same exact thing. We're just going to be dealing with words. So, potassium. The symbol for potassium is K. Symbol for oxygen is O2. When you mix potassium plus oxygen, you get a metallic oxide. So the metallic ion is potassium, and then oxide is -2. Now we have to crisscross. We're going to bring the 2 down here, the 1 over here. Now we have to balance. We have 2 oxygens on this side, so we need to get 2 oxygens on this side. That changes our K's to 4, so we need to put a 4 right here. And it's balanced. If you want to put 1s in here, that's perfectly fine with me. Okay, the next example. Barium plus oxygen. It's going to follow the same format. Barium has a +2 charge. Oxygen has a -2 charge. There's no need to crisscross because they're equal and opposite charges. You have 2 oxygens on this side. I need to get 2 oxygens on this side. So we put a 2 right here. That's going to change your bariums to 2. And we need to put a 2 right here. And we'll fill in the 1 right there. So anytime you see a metal plus oxygen, it's always going to form a metallic oxide. Okay? Number 2, a metallic oxide plus water gives you a metallic hydroxide. So a metal and oxygen, a metallic oxide, plus water, we all know water's H2O, always gives us a metallic hydroxide. So a metallic hydroxide is this metal, whatever metal's in the first part, and hydroxide's at OH. So MgO plus H2O gives you a metallic hydroxide. So the metal in this case is Mg. We're going to write the charge is a +2. Hydroxide is OH, and it has a -1 charge. We crisscross. We're going to bring the 2 down here, the 1 over here. Hydroxide is a polyatomic ion. So we have to make sure that we put parentheses around it. Okay, so we got a balance now. So if you want to balance this and you want to convert this to HOH like we did in the last lesson, that's perfectly fine. I have 2 OHs on this side. I need to get 2 OHs right here. Okay. Never mind, no, sorry. It's balanced. So it really doesn't do us too much good to break this down to HOH. You have 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. 1 Mg, 1 Mg. Okay, 1 Mg. Now our next example, cesium oxide. So cesium is Cs and it has a +1 charge. Oxide is O with a -2 charge, so we crisscross. Plus water. Your metal in this case is the cesium. And we're going to put it with a hydroxide. Now, look what I just did. And this is why it's going to be wrong. You don't put parentheses around something that doesn't have, when you're crisscrossing and they're equal and opposite, you don't put parentheses around it. So it's just CSOH. Now, I got to put 2 CS's, 2 CS's, 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens. It's balanced. Sorry about that short slip. Okay, so strontium oxide plus water. Okay, your metal in this case is strontium, so we're going to write Sr. It has a +2 charge. Hydroxide is OH with a -1 charge. When we go to crisscross, we have to use parentheses because they're not equal and opposites. And then we're going to go through and balance. So 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens, 2 hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, 1 strontium, 1 strontium. It's balanced. So if you want to write ones in, you can go through and write ones for everything. Okay, the next type of example problem is what we call a metal plus a non-metal will give you an ionic compound or a salt. Okay, so sodium plus chloride is going to just go into its ions. So sodium has a +1 charge, chlorine has a -1 charge. They're equal and opposites, so there's no need to crisscross. Here, let me go ahead and write out my whole equation for y'all. Sorry. It's just better to write it by yourself. Okay, so I have 2 Cl's on this side. I need to get 2 Cl's on this side. 2 NA's on this side. I need to put 2 NA's on this side, and it should be balanced from there. Okay, a metal, so nickel's a metal, plus a non-metal, phosphorus is a non-metal, is going to form an ionic compound. So nickel plus P, and when they mix together, this has a +2 charge, P has a -3 charge, we're going to crisscross like that. Okay, we're going to take the 2, bring it down here, the 3, bring it down here. Now we got to balance it. So you have 3 NI's on this side, 3 NI's on this side, 2 P's on that side. I need to put 2 P's on this side, and then it'll be balanced. Okay, our last example problem on this section, I believe, is potassium plus sulfur. So we're going to write K plus S. Potassium has a +1 charge. Sulfur has a -2 charge. So we crisscross. We're going to bring the 2 down here, the 1 over here. Remember that when we write structures, we don't write ones when we crisscross. And then we go to balance. So we have 2 K's on this side. I need to put 2 K's on this side. 1 sulfur, 1 sulfur, and it should be balanced. Okay, so the next video I will do, I'll give you a chance to work out these practice problems, and then I'll go through them with you in detail. So, see you in a little bit.